Like two different worlds coming together.
And, you know, life is not like a Hallmark movie.
It was natural. No, there was no uncomfortable, there was no awkwardness, there was nothing. I think that I'm a natural-born speaker, and it seemed to be that he is too. I learned very much a lot about him and my family on his side, and yeah, it was very pleasant.
Lee was released from prison in May and has to spend 2 years of probation in the Charleston area. She'll have to build a new life in the U.S. As a convicted felon, she may never be allowed back into Australia. But Savannah returned there to the place she calls home to continue her college studies. Since her visit, she has not been in touch with her father. But if there's anything that Harris has learned in the last 20 years, it is that there is always hope.
You know, my daughter's her own person now. She can make her own decisions. And whether my daughter wants to contact me or not, she knows where I am, and she knows I want to hear from her, whatever happens.
That's all for this edition of Dateline. We'll see you again Thursday at 9, 8 Central for Dateline's Thursday Night Mystery. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, good night.
We are following two breaking stories tonight. A teen drowns in Jupiter.
And the Colorado theater shooter is sentenced. We're hearing from the theater victims' families tonight.
But first, that teenage boy dead after drowning in the Jupiter. And we go to News Channel 5's Michelle Casada, who is live in Jupiter with new information. Michelle?
Michael, Jupiter police have identified the 15-year-old victim as Edwin Castañón. He was pronounced dead at the Jupiter Medical Center. And this comes at a time when the Jupiter community is already hurting from an ongoing search for missing teens, Austin and Perry. Marine units and Coast Guard crews rushed to try and save a 15-year-old boy. This time, a swimmer swept into the Jupiter Inlet.
Resources responded very quickly. In a matter of moments, we had the Jupiter Marine Patrol units, we had fire rescue units, we had North Palm Beach on the way, FWC, PBSO helicopter, Tequesta Marine Patrol.
Jupiter Police Chief Frank Kitzero says the teen appeared to be swimming from shore with his friends in the lagoon area at Du Bois Park and got caught in a current. 911 calls came from friends and witnesses. After about an hour of searching, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Special Operations divers found the teen in the inlet. He was unresponsive and transported to Jupiter Medical Center. All of this in the immediate aftermath of the frantic search for the two teen boaters that galvanized our community.
It's all a tragedy. You know, my heart goes out to the families of the missing boys from the boat last week, and then also for this family as well. But it's just a reminder that this inlet is, you know, it's a beautiful inlet. It's just very dangerous place at times.
Chief Kitzero says when search crews started looking for the teen, several boaters offered to take officers out on the water. And so he's very grateful that this community continues to come together in difficult times. Reporting live from Jupiter, Michelle Casada, WPTV News Channel 5.
Live with reaction to the James Holmes sentencing, life in prison with no chance for parole. That's the fate for the Colorado theater shooter. A jury could not agree. It had to be unanimous, and there was one holdout at least on whether he deserved the death penalty for his rampage in 2012 that killed a dozen people and wounded 70 others. Prosecutors had argued Holmes deserved to die because he methodically planned the 2012 massacre during a midnight screening of a Batman movie. Holmes' lawyers argued he is mentally ill and that schizophrenia led to Holmes' psychotic break. At least one juror agreed. And again, a death verdict had to be unanimous. There was at least that one holdout. Some of the victims' families saying they're not getting justice.
When you look at, you know, what's happened in light of this, that's not justice. You know, he's living, he's breathing, and our loved ones are gone for over 3 years now. And the gaping void, the gaping wound that we have with the loss of our granddaughter has been replaced with a new abscess of him living.
Recall that the same jury had quickly rejected Holmes' insanity defense weeks ago and found him guilty of the murders. They deliberated on the sentencing portion of this for more than 2 days before tonight's announcement of the life in prison sentence for Holmes.
Now, Storm Team 5 with South Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Still watching some rain on the radar tonight to the north and also off the coast. Some of this made its way into our area earlier today, especially Port St. Lucie and up around Vero and Fort Pierce. Things have really settled down quickly tonight, and we'll see a clearing sky. It is still very warm, mid-80s in Palm Beach County, and now starting to fall into the 70s across the Treasure Coast. High 70s, though. Tomorrow morning, it starts off warm, and when you start your day in the high 70s and low 80s, it doesn't take very long to break 90 degrees. We should do it by the noon hour. There's some rain in the forecast this weekend. We'll talk about that coming up.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. Stop the violence. That was the message of tonight's Community Peace Walk, an event organized after a string of deadly shootings last month on the city's north end.
News Channel 5's Alyssa Hyman is live in West Palm Beach with more on the turnout. Alyssa.
Well, dozens of people showed up tonight here at the Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, including city, county, and religious leaders, to unite and walk with one clear message. Taking steps to stop the recent violence. Their message echoed through the streets.
We want to promote presence with our bodies.
Community pastor Reverend Kevin Jones joined this peace walk, organized after a string of deadly shootings last month. 4 people killed in just 1 week. For walkers like Tamika Payton, it's personal. Her son DeAndre Payton was shot and killed last month in Palm Springs.
We're grieving. We're broken. The violence has to stop.
DeAndre's close friend walking tonight, too, saying it's about the decisions people make in life that determine whether they choose peace or violence.
I want everything to stop, all the killing and all the violence.
The 2.5-mile walk started from the Friendship Missionary Baptist Church and went to the different locations of the deadly shootings.
This is something that we don't want to happen in our neighborhood. We want to take our neighborhood back.
Several city and county leaders joined the walk, including Palm Beach County State Attorney David Ehrenberg. So did West Palm Beach Police Chief Brian Cummerland, who says a recent crime crackdown has been successful. But he says increased patrols will only go so far.
It's nothing that we could sustain over a long period of time. So we need the community to get behind us and support us, and we'll go in the right direction.
And while this peace walk is just the first of many steps to creating a safer neighborhood, people tonight say it's clear that together they can push the community forward.
And officers have been spending about 1,800 hours per week patrolling the north end of the city, and the city tells us those increased patrols will continue until further notice. Reporting live in West Palm Beach, Alyssa Hyman, WPTV News Channel 5.
A security scare at West Palm Beach City Hall. Surveillance cameras showing a former employee dodging security, determined to get to the mayor to say his piece about concerns at the utility plant. Douglas Ellington was arrested after the incident Wednesday. He says he ran past security because he wanted the mayor to admit he had warned the city about safety issues long before a coworker, who you see there, fell to his death in a sewage tank earlier this year. Ellington admits he was emotional when he ran past security.
My relationship, my family, my setbacks. And that's not something you're gonna allow a man to just sit and just accept for his family. I was never enraged. No one was ever in danger.
Ellington says he has a new job working for a neighboring city as an electrician. He does face a misdemeanor trespassing charge. The city says security responded the correct way and that it's not changing any procedures. A memorial dive will be held tomorrow morning for a man who lost his life while diving in the Jupiter Inlet yesterday. 27-year-old Casey Jones was diving off of a fishing boat when he did not surface. The captain went into the water and found him. He was brought to shore but did not make it. There will be a memorial for Jones tomorrow morning at Harborside Place from 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. Organizers tell us boat flags will be at half staff.
New at 11, on the road with Florida Highway Patrol as it cracks down on bad driving. News Channel 5's Jason Hackett joining us now with what they are targeting right now to keep you safe on the road. Jason.
Yeah, Ashley, this weekend, the law enforcement is taking the challenge, the I-95 challenge. The initiative stretches along I-95 from Florida to Maine. Now, we rode along with FHP this evening as they put that challenge into action.
If there's a list of phrases you don't want to hear on a Friday evening,
driver's license, registration, proof of insurance, please,
is probably near the top. But don't take it personally. Trooper Aguero says hearing that phrase can actually do some good.
All right, so, well, there you go. So if you get in a car accident, can you imagine what would happen to you?
It's why the blue and red lights will be prominent along I-95 this weekend.
We just want to make sure you get home. That's our priority.
Extra troopers on the road looking for common violations like speeding.
You're traveling 88 miles an hour in a posted 65 zone. Is there a reason why you're going so fast?
Seatbelts.
Or you failed to wear your seatbelt. Is there a reason why, sir?
And violations of the Move Over law, which says drivers must pull over or slow down when they see a disabled car or police on the side of the road.
Going pretty fast.
It's a common infraction, as we saw one driver fail the test tonight.
I slowed down to about 70, 71.
Okay, well, the Move Over law states you need to slow down about 20 miles per hour below the speed limit. Okay, when you passed me, you shook my vehicle. That's how fast you're going.
When it's all said and done, most get a ticket, some get a warning, but everyone leaves with a lesson that goes beyond the next few days.
That it's not all about tickets or anything like that. It's about educating them and telling them, hey, I'm sure you want to get home back to your family.
Now, this I-95 challenge is set to run through Sunday. Again, troopers will be focusing on speeding, seatbelt violations, and reckless driving. Back to you.
All right, Jason, thanks. Well, it is almost time for the kids to head back to school, and we're helping you get ready. Why don't you stop by our Back to School Expo tomorrow at the mall at Wellington Green. We'll be there from 10 until 4. We're helping you out with everything you need to know about school supplies, uniforms, your different schooling options, what you need to have when it comes to immunizations. Plus, you'll get to see some of us there from News Channel 5.
WPTV News Channel 5 coming back in just 60 seconds. Sentencing delayed. A man who killed 5 people in a crash awaiting his fate. His plea in court today, and the emotional response from the victims' families.
And giant snails. These not so little guys causing concerns in South Florida. Why authorities say they're bad news for your garden and your health.
Bad ink, a warning about tattoo ink from health officials. The brand of ink made in our state that tested positive for bacteria, and what you need to check first when you go to the parlor.
Thanks, guys. Steve Buscemi is my guest tonight. Plus, we have Taylor Kitsch, stand-up from John Ryman, and thank you notes. It's a great show. Check it out. Do not change the channel. It's good. I didn't know it. Not doing it.
A new season brings a new look, a chance to try something different. This summer, challenge your preconceptions and experience a Cadillac for yourself. The 2015 Cadillac SRX. Current GM lessees can lease this from around $339 per month or purchase with 0% APR financing.
It's amazing what you can do with a click these days. Just click to check on your nest egg and see your progress. Just click to get personalized advice and grow your savings. And now, just click to take control of your energy use and save money all year long. With FPL's online home energy survey, it's now easier to get customized recommendations to help you save up to $250 a year. Go to fpl.com/easy to save to take the survey and make your bill even lower.
More local coverage now. He was convicted of killing 5 people during a crash in Riviera Beach 2 years ago, and today Jabari Kemp was supposed to learn his punishment, but instead a judge delayed sentencing. News Channel 5's Andrew Ruiz has more on the emotional day for the victims' families.
I take full responsibility for their death.
A plea of mercy from a man convicted of killing 5 innocent people during a crash. Jabari Kemp and his mother taking the stand today in Kemp's sentencing hearing, hoping for a lesser punishment.
I want each and every one of y'all to know that this is sincere. It's coming from my heart, and it's something that me and my son, we went on our knees and we prayed for each one of y'all family members.
Kemp crashed his car into another with 5 people inside 2 years ago. Those 5 people died at the scene on Blue Heron, east of 95. Police say he was traveling at speeds over 120 miles per hour.
It was very hard for myself, my son, her mother, aunts, cousins, brothers. It was hard for all of us.
Families of the 5 victims still grieve as they wait for sentencing.
I don't hate him. Don't hate him at all, because that's not with me. He don't want to have to pay for that. But however, my granddaughter is gone.
Kemp could spend a maximum of 75 years in prison. Andrew Ruiz, WPTV News Channel 5.
And sentencing for Kemp is now scheduled for August 18th, where we're told there will be no testimony.
Targeting you at the ATM, Delray Beach police say thieves stole more than $27,000 by installing skimmers at ATMs in at least 6 Publix stores. Detectives say 2 men started the scheme last month, installing the skimmers at night, then coming back a few days later to remove them. Detectives were able to identify at least one of the crooks through surveillance pictures at the stores. The Green Acres City Council is reviewing a final draft of a contract that would have the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office take over policing the city. The mayor and city council acknowledge the deal offers more support staff, services, resources, and equipment. However, at just under $9 million a year, the PBSO contract would cost at least $130,000 more than the city's current police budget. Mayor Sam Ferrari believes the budget overrun is more like $500,000. City council members we spoke with say they have plenty to consider before Monday.
The city of Green Acres is a small police department. In 1996, we were 51 officers. 2015, we're 51 officers. Our population has grown tremendously.
There are some issues in the contract that concern me that I will question them about Monday night.
Public comment and a vote are expected at the Green Acres City Council meeting. That's Monday at 7.
New at 11, if you get a tattoo, make sure you check the label on the ink being used. A warning from state health officials tonight about inks made by 1,000 Virgin's Ink. The Food and Drug Administration says the brand's ink labeled G1, G2, and G3 tested positive for bacterial contamination and could cause an infection. The inks are manufactured in Florida.
They can be up to 8 inches long and have no natural predators in South Florida. The invasive giant African land snail. It first showed up in Miami and now is in 29 areas of South Florida. Teams are now starting to win the fight against them with the help from dogs who have been trained to sniff them out.
Originally, we were finding 1,000, 2,000 snails per day. Now there are days we go and don't find any snails.
The Agriculture Department is worried because the giant African snail consumes nearly 500 different plants in Florida. These guys also carry a pretty nasty parasite, one that causes neurological issues like going blind or going deaf. The snails can lay up to 300 eggs per month, so it's all hands on deck to get them out.
A Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission officer is in the hospital tonight after being shot. This in the Panhandle. The Bay County Sheriff's Office says 2 men shot the wildlife officer while he was on his boat this afternoon. Authorities say the men stole the boat and beached it a short time later in Panama City, and they were on the run for a little while, but authorities caught up to them and they're now in custody. We do not know the motive or circumstances precisely that led up to the shooting. We'll keep you posted on the condition of that wounded officer. A tour group in Zimbabwe's Hwange National Park has spotted a pride of lions believed to contain some of Cecil and his brother Jericho's descendants, which would mean a number of cubs are still alive. Cecil, Zimbabwe's most famous lion, was hunted and killed last month by an American dentist. The death was said to be the beginning of a power struggle among the lions, resulting in the death of other male lions and Cecil's offspring.
An incredible story tonight out of California. Lightning striking a teenage couple who were out on a walk, and doctors saying they're only alive because they were holding hands. Dylan and Lexi took a walk when severe thunderstorms set in. Doctors suspect the bolt first hit Dylan's head and then traveled through his hand to Lexi's, where it exited through her foot.
Next thing you know, we're on the ground and we gave each other like the most terrified looks you could possibly imagine. Yeah, it was definitely weird. I kind of thought there was an earthquake.
Well, doctors say because they were holding hands, it helped diffuse the electrical current that ran through their bodies. Both are now doing just fine and actually joke they have an electric love.
Right now, Typhoon Soudelor bearing down on Taiwan. It made landfall earlier today. Ugly imagery there. A few days ago, the strongest storm so far this year with 180-mile-per-hour sustained winds. The storm has weakened, but is still a strong 120 miles per hour. Storm surge, flooding, and landslides are the biggest threats here as they brace for this typhoon.
Now, Storm Team 5 with South Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Some earlier rain on the Treasure Coast and a few spots in Palm Beach County and a couple of thunderstorms too tonight. It is quiet. We do have rain in North Florida though, and I'm keeping an eye on that, and also some rain off the coast. That this was actually the earlier thunderstorms that pushed through around Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, and Vero, and there's our rain working into Tampa tonight. There's a trough that drives south into Florida this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It enhances our rains a little bit, but not very much. There's still a lot of dry Saharan dust around, and that should help suppress, in fact it has the last couple of days, suppress the big storms that we saw earlier in the week. Temperatures are in the 70s to the mid 80s along coastal Palm Beach County. Nice night on the way. I think our rain chances remain low tonight, but they do fire up again tomorrow. It'll kind of be a mix of sun and clouds in the morning. When you start off around 80 degrees for your overnight low, and you head out the door, it doesn't take much to break 90 degrees. We'll do it by the noon hour. We'll get into the low and mid 90s by the early afternoon. I don't think we'll set any records, but we'll be close in a few spots, and showers and storms return, and the best bet is in the afternoon between about 3 and 4 p.m. along the lake area, and then working toward the coastline very quickly in the afternoon. Here's a look at Vipercast. Tonight, as I said, quiet, some clouds around. There's noon hour, showers and rainfall heading to the lake, and then eventually sweeping across South Florida in the afternoon, and kind of lingering through about 7 and 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and then clearing after that, and another round moving in for Sunday. But it won't be a washout, although we will see some rainfall. Not everyone will see big storms tomorrow. The Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico are extremely quiet. The tropical weather pattern has been nice lately for us, and off in the Atlantic, not much going on, but hurricane season typically heats up around August 15th, right through mid-October. Peak day would be September 10th, and so we're going to have to be keeping a close eye out, especially starting next week. 93 the next couple of days, 92 on Monday. We're going to break a 90 for the next 5 to 6 days at least, and our water temperatures are sky high, mid-80s. Our wave height's running about 1 to 2 feet. Boating conditions look good tomorrow. Beachgoers, looks pretty nice too. Wear the sunscreen, drink lots of fluids, and kind of watch out for that afternoon sunshine. Find yourself an AC. And with the heat index approaching 100 in a few spots away from the coastline, it's going to be very, very warm, especially mid-afternoon. 76 overnight, hazy, humid, but a beautiful night. 93 tomorrow. And again, showers and storms. The best bet for those will be in the afternoon. And the 7-day forecast, more on the way for Sunday. Next week, the middle of next week, we get into better rains. But the weekend right now, looking good. The heat continues, though.
All right, Steve, thank you. Caught on camera, 2 cops busting a move with some neighborhood kids. The story behind this video going viral tonight. And
in sports, high expectations for the Oxbridge Academy football team. Ian Hest here to explain the hype and hopes. Next.
Weather on WPTV is sponsored by El Dorado Furniture.
You never let the weather stop you, so when big changes are on the way, you deserve to know first. When you see this, you'll know. Storm Team 5 activated a weather alert day. Using Live Viper 5 Max, the most advanced storm tracking tool, will give you live hourly updates and continuous coverage everywhere until the weather passes. When it comes down to it, it's your day, and we want you to stay safe. Storm Team 5 Weather Alert Days, only on WPTV News Channel 5.
Busy day, huh?
Yep, our annual clearance event really brings them in. I can barely keep up by myself.
0% APR financing. Tons of amazing inventory.
Only happens once a year. Hologram number 17 seems to have gone rogue.
I'm the real Jan now. 0%, 0%.
Right now at the Toyota Annual Clearance Event. Get a low 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2015 Toyota RAV4. That's just 0% APR.
It's all yours.
Thanks, Jan.
Toyota, let's go places.
Let's go. Close, Serena.
fight. Stay low. Come on, fight. You gotta stay low.
It took Serena Williams years to master the two-handed backhand.
Let's go.
But only one shot to master the Chase mobile app. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
I don't know what I'm doing. I can't find anything.
Just when I think it's just not gonna work, this woman that works there comes over and asks,
Can I help you?
and he was so happy to do it.
Amazing, right?
I never would have expected, would have thought.
That anyone would find that.
Do that.
Make that.
Go out of their way for me. Right then, right there. I couldn't believe it.
He was so helpful.
I know it's such a
Small thing. Little thing.
Simple thing.
but it made me smile.
Made me happy.
Made my day.
Share your story. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
When it's 5 o'clock on News Channel 5, you need to know what's happening right now. Steve Winkle with weather, safety, and accuracy right when and where you need it. WPTV News Channel 5.
Look at those guys move. All right, trending right now, a video that's sure to make you smile. 2 police officers in Minnesota strutting their stuff with neighborhood kids during a National Night Out celebration. Tuesday, police crews from all over the country visited their respective neighbors to celebrate the annual get-together. A few members of the Hopkins Police Department started dancing with some kids, and pretty good at it, too, to Salento's arguable song of the summer, Watch Me.
Time now for the Honda Sports Desk with ESPN 106.3 on WPTV News Channel 5.
You don't even want to see me do that move. Not even close. The Oxbridge Academy Thunderwolves have been a monster in the making for the past few years. And this year, now that they have entered the FHSAA, they'll finally be able to compete against the best in the state for a championship. Even better yet, when the Thunderwolves hit the field this fall, they'll have a seasoned veteran at quarterback. Meet Angelo Navaroli. 2 years ago, he entered his freshman season as the backup, but was soon thrust into the spotlight after an injury knocked the starter out just before the first day of the day before the first game. The youngster took the reins and hasn't looked back. Navaroli led the Thunderwolves to back-to-back independent league titles, and has the offense looking strong heading into this season.
I think he's the best quarterback in the county. People don't hear too much about him. He's not much of a self-promoter. He's not on Twitter too much and things like that. He's focused on being the best he can be, and everything for him is going to take care of itself in terms of looking down the road to get recruited, because there's a lot of colleges that are interested.
I feel confident, but definitely not complacent. I'm trying to get better. I feel like we have some great receivers, great slots, definitely great running backs. I think great offense.
Florida's current U15 girls state champion soccer team got a special visitor at their clinic today, elite German coach Freddie Krump. She's one of only 20 women in Germany to hold the highest title in all of coaching. It's called a UEFA Pro license. She's here across the pond, interested in how American soccer is played and intrigued by how the sport is improving in this country.
I think the last few years it happened a lot, and they are improving every day. And this year was the World Cup, and the U.S. soccer was that successful. I think it will push the U.S. soccer furthermore. They really improved a lot the last years, and I think it's not over. It's not the end. It's getting better every day.
Well, after a week of speculation, Palm Beach Gardens resident Rory McIlroy will at least give it a go next week at the final major of the year. The PGA of America tweeting today that McIlroy will be paired with this year's major winners Jordan Spieth and Zach Johnson for the first 2 rounds of the PGA Championship. Rory will be playing just 5 weeks after tearing a ligament in his ankle. Rory's sitting out of this week's WGC Bridgestone Invitational, but the rest of the world's best are playing. Jupiter's Ricky Fowler went 3 under in his opening round. A beautiful shot off the tee here on 7. That baby almost gonna roll on in, but not as good a day for Ricky. He goes 2 over, sliding back to 17th. Dustin Johnson, a stellar round today, gets the long birdie putt to go on 14 to move him to 3 under. He finished the day 4 under, good enough for a share of 2nd. But everybody chasing Jim Furyk. He sits at 8 under, a good 4-shot lead heading into the weekend. And Rory's back.
All right, we'll see.
Always fun. Back in a moment.
Listen to ESPN 106.3 FM. Mike and Mike start your morning, and Evan Cohen on the ride home.
And horse is gonna
It's Toyota's annual clearance at Ed Morse Delray Toyota. Rush in for our lowest prices of the year. Lease new Camrys $99 a month or buy for $18,988. Visit DelrayToyota.com.
From the people who brought you underwhelming internet speeds and the people who brought you temperamental satellite television. Introducing underwhelming internet speeds and temperamental television in one. Welcome to the moment no one's been waiting for.
The fastest internet and the best TV experience is already here with X1, only from Xfinity.
Time's running out on Volkswagen's model year-end clearance sale. Now save even more on affordable German engineering in Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Lease new Volkswagens at our lowest payments this year from $119 a month or $0 down. Passat or the Tiguan SUV, your choice. $159 a month or $0 down. Or buy new Volkswagens with 0% for 72 months. Plus get $1,000 cash back. But hurry, time's running out on Volkswagen's model year-end clearance sale.
When the Spanish explorers discovered Isla Morada, they called it Purple Isles. Today, they discover such a rich palette of diversions and delicacies, they'd definitely be at a loss for words. Isla Morada in the Florida Keys.
Busy day, huh? Yep. Our annual clearance event really brings them in. I can barely keep up by myself.
0% APR financing. Tons of amazing inventory.
Only happens once a year. Hologram number 17 seems to have gone rogue.
I'm the real Jan now. 0%, 0%.
Right now at the Toyota Annual Clearance Event. Get a low 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2015 Toyota RAV4. That's just 0% APR.
It's all yours.
Thanks, Jan.
Toyota, let's go places.
Come see the new Cindy Crawford Coastal Collections, now at Rooms to Go.
Rush to Ed Morse Delray Toyota for Toyota's annual clearance event. Save today with our lowest prices of the year on new Toyotas. Get new RAV4s, $129 a month lease, or buy for $21,488. Visit DelrayToyota.com.
Closed captioning on WPTV is sponsored by Bethesda Health.
Nice start to the weekend. Again, some rainfall possible later in the day, Saturday and Sunday, kind of arriving around 3 p.m. and lingering into about 7.
Wish you a good weekend. Wish you a great one. Thanks for joining us. Local coverage in Count On continues at 5.
The Tonight Show is next.
Back to school means observing school zones and slowing down. It could be dangerous to pedestrians and wind up in a hefty fine for you. Remember, safety first, safety always. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath.
With Empire Today's new half-price sale, our best sale. Get beautiful floors and professional installation for half price. That's carpet with installation, half price. Hardwood with installation, half price. Tile or vinyl plus installation, half price. And laminate with installation, half price. That's half price for your whole project. Floors and professional installation. It's Empire's new half-price sale. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. You worked hard to get here. Now it's time to relax and enjoy it. City Furniture presents Claire by Kevin Charles, a collection of easygoing, casual classics in a variety of finishes, designed to make any home a vacation home. See Claire today, exclusively at City Furniture.
So your dad let you borrow the
Buick, Mr. Simmons. And it's got a 5-star overall safety rating, so there's nothing to worry about.
My grandpa used to drive a Buick.
I don't think that's what he's worried about.
That's not your grandpa.
current lessees, switch to Buick and get the best of the remaining 2015s with this low mileage lease on this Buick Encore for around $190 a month with just $190 due at signing.
Devonshire at PGA National is getting a fresh new look. Come and see the elegant new apartment finishes that make us Southeast Florida's premier retirement destination.
I have lived here for 15 years. I have never looked back. I'm enjoying life very, very much.
We have all the services that we have. It just leaves you free to have your own life.
Call for your free brochure today.
Do you or your children need a medical checkup? Are you delaying seeing a doctor and getting your prescriptions because of the cost? Don't wait. Make an appointment at one of the Healthcare District of Palm Beach County's C.L. Brumback primary care clinics in West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, Lantana, and Belle Glade. Our medical staff cares for all adults and children, whether or not you have insurance, and regardless of your ability to pay. Visit our website at brumbackclinics.org or call 561-642-1000 today.
Coverage everywhere on WPTV News Channel 5 at 5.
Whoa! Back to school means back to the early morning rush. Give yourself a little extra time. Remember, safety first, safety always. Lytle Ryder, Smith Ivy and Fronrad.
Time and temperature from TD Bank.